When it comes to the main roster of the Avengers, one thing sticks out like a sore thumb, and that's the very human, very boots-on-the-ground approach that Hawkeye and Black Widow had. Not a whole lot of super suits, super soldier serums, or hulking abilities. Just people that are the best at their craft. Now the producer of Marvel's Hawkeye talks a little bit about what's making this series different than other films and shows and how it relates to the character. So at this point, there's been multiple interviews with producers, the director, stars, and everybody involved with the series so far. So when looking at the series and how they're approaching this, you can tell it's a lot more of a personal story, if you will, set during a personal time and a sort of more personal scaled back approach to the bigger MCU. And again, this is something that people have wanted. So recently, the producer of the series talked a little bit about how you come to this series and you know that Clint is a family man. So that automatically changes things up in regards to how other projects in the MCU present themselves, and then specifically what the TV side of things decided to enable. Essentially, they looked at everything that comes after Avengers Infinity War and Endgame and said, how do we explore different corners of the universe as it relates to different characters because of these traumatic events? And since you have one series over here exploring this type of trauma, you have one thing over here exploring space, time, and multiverses and variants, you have a thing over here that's very personal about the passing of the torch and do you want to pick up the shield and can you? Will they accept you? That it was time to look at the family aspect of it and how does this track in terms of how does it relate to the MCU and the bigger picture and where many lives are at now on the more ground level, and Hawkeye is sort of your perfect eyes to this. And essentially that the push for the story towards the end is the big push that we've seen in other Christmas-based things. Will I be home for Christmas? Can I make it home for Christmas? And can I be there with my family? That's sort of the push for this series. And again, something very relatable for everybody, right? Making it home for the holidays. Can it be done and how will it be done? Can they take care of all their problems and get there and be safe? So I honestly do like this approach. It's definitely different. You get the sense that Hawkeye, by the time it's over, will be a different type of story that comes at us, and I do appreciate it. The more variety we can add in there, I think the better. And I would personally love it if they just expanded on this even more with many other characters. And it looks like definitely Echo will, but even beyond that, there's so many different, more interesting corners of the Marvel universe we have yet to explore that it's about time. And I think this is a good, grounded start.